All right, we have level 3 snow emergencies, as has been mentioned. Now, this means the roads are closed in Erie, Huron, and Richland counties. The conditions all over Northeast Ohio are really bad right now. As a matter of fact, the Medina County Highway Department earlier told the National Weather Service roads are very treacherous. That's a pretty significant quote from a highway department. So the sleet that we have been watching south for Canton, Dover, New Philadelphia, Millersburg, Carrollton, that sleet is on the move, and that means you folks are now in the change over to the snow. Your conditions too. Not that the ice was enough. No, now you're going to have snow on top of it. And then all of us are dealing with the blowing and drifting snow. I had a gal who tweeted me from Sandusky and said, hey, we have whiteout conditions here in Sandusky. That's part of the blowing and the drifting. You don't have necessarily the heavy new snow coming down, although it is coming down. It's not quite as heavy as farther south, but that wind coming in off of the lake, you're talking wind gusts on the lakeshore of 40 miles per hour, and that just whips the snow around. So poor visibility, a huge issue all across Northeast Ohio. And this is the type of snow, as we warned you about, the road crews will not keep up. Conditions will continue to deteriorate. It's been deteriorating for 3 hours. It's going to continue to deteriorate for the next 3 hours until finally we start to see this backing off. So the snow is now really starting to come down in Stark County and out toward the Worcester area. Thank you so much to everybody who's been sending me your reports. And I've been getting a lot of reports of that change taking place there. And the visibilities, as mentioned, have been very poor. Now down to a quarter-mile visibility for Worcester. Same for downtown, also out in Elyria, half-mile visibility reported elsewhere. And this change on this correlation coefficient has been amazing. All right, what's correlation coefficient? This is a radar product. So some of the radar, it shows you where the snowflakes and the raindrops are. It shows you how many there are. That's the density. It's called reflectivity. It's a very easy product to see. That's the traditional one that you see. This is called correlation coefficient, and this is more of the math that's involved in the radar. And it's trying to show us where things are similar or dissimilar. All this dark red, that's all snow. And then you get into this orange, that means things are a little different. So that's the mix, the sleet, the freezing rain, and the snow mix. That line has been moving, and it's actually moving at a pretty good clip now. So I think we finally have started to turn the corner as the second wave is moving through. There it is. So this is the area of low pressure that came out of Texas, and this will slide right up the backside of the Appalachians and drag this entire batch of snow over us as we go through the night tonight. We are still locked in. You can see it here when we go up to 5,000 feet in the atmosphere. You know, the atmosphere is layered. And at 5,000 feet, the winds do different things than they do here at the surface. They do different things at the tippy top of the atmosphere too, at least the troposphere. But you can see this big circulation, that is the wave. That's the second wave, the low. That low is expected to move to our northeast, and as it does so, we're going to start to see things changing. So we have this northeast wind that is cooling things now rather than the south wind that is warming things. And watch what happens over the next few hours. You can see how these winds begin to switch around. By midnight, that switch should be taking place south of Dover and south of Carrollton, and then by early morning tomorrow, all of us have the snow, and it will be adding up. We are still looking at a footer for much of northern Ohio. It's going to be hard to measure it because the blowing and drifting, we've got 3-foot drifts reported in some places. But on top of that ice that you folks have had farther south, you still have a few inches of snow to go, and that does include the ice that you have already accumulated. So that's something to certainly keep in mind. And we do have the school closings, of course, that are coming in. I'm not quite sure why my computer is not doing that, but here we go. The road and air impacts still very high tonight into tomorrow. And yeah, the school closings are too, because, I think we've got a pretty good shot at it. The best chances to get back in school are actually the smaller cities that are going to have a chance to catch up. But I think we have a lot of school closings that are going to be out for tomorrow. They're already coming in. Jason, tell us about the rest of this forecast.
There's a footer. I think we need a Betsy Kling dictionary.
A footer.
I love it. All right, guys, let's talk about this 7-day outlook for you, okay? Once we get through midnight tonight, we start to get some of those tapering happening across our region here, but we have a very, very cold air mass that's coming in, so we want to get right to that and show you what's happening here. Once that Arctic blast comes on in, we'll have single-digit surface temperatures here and likely sub-zero temperatures. This is a very modest start to our Saturday, okay? Stuck in the upper teens teens and even low 20s by Saturday afternoon. But by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have a bit of a changeover that's going to happen, and we'll show you that in a broad perspective. But the good news here is that we come near and likely go above freezing, so we can start to melt some of this stuff by next weekend. That's when we talk about another system that we're watching. That is that forecast that we're already looking ahead for. Jay and Betts.